All right, this is the Mottle Craw in the black and olive color. I'm going to start out with a Gamakatsu B10S. This is a size 2. It'll be a size 2 and a size 1 on this streamer. I'm going to start out with a little bit of olive barred marabou. And we're just going to hang it off the back end here. Go ahead and tie that down, create an underbody. Depending on how much you want here in the front, you can do one plume or two. Okay, we'll start out the legs with some crazy legs. These are a dark olive barred, some olive and pumpkin. Okay, and we'll just take 4 legs on each side, bind those down. And then I just kind of keep them full length and trim them off. Trim a couple of them shorter, a couple of them longer. Just keep some variation in there. And then we'll do some rabbit strip. This is just standard black zonker. And I've cut them at 2 3/4 of an inch. Put those on both sides. Tie those down. We'll take a plume of black marabou. I'm just going to put it right here on top. It gives us some kind of olive on the underbody, underbelly maybe. Also just some variation to break up the black in the front there. We'll take a black schlappen feather. We're just going to tip it out at the front here. Tie that in. And then we're going to take some olive brown polar reflector flash. I'm going to tie that in at the same time. Okay. I'm going to do 1 turn of the schlappen to get it going. And then I'm going to pair these 2 up, so that the polar reflector flash is inside of this. And then we're going to wrap this forward. Going forward all the way up to about 2 eye lengths behind. It gives us a nice variation of olive and black. And we'll go ahead and make sure that's nice and down. Okay. Take another plume of black marabou. I'm just going to veil this over the top. Okay. We're going to go ahead and trim that off. So a lot of things that move on this pattern. Go ahead and whip finish. And that's the back half of it. Go ahead and set that off to the side. We'll get a size 1 B10S. Go ahead and mount that in the vise. We'll start by just creating an underbody here. Okay, we'll take a piece of articulation wire. Start that up at the front. Just kind of spiral wrap that down. And I'm going to go just a tiny bit down the bend. Put on I like bright beads on this pattern. Kind of looks like it's got an egg underneath it or something. Just get a little bit of a hot spot maybe. And these are fluorescent beads. We'll go ahead and put the back side on here. And then go ahead and match this up here at the front. just want to keep that nice and straight and open, just like you would any of your articulation. Okay, we can go ahead and make sure that's seated right before we go on. Okay, we'll go ahead and do our underbelly and collar here on the back side. We're going to take a piece of olive brown extra select marabou. And we're going to strip off some of the fluff down here at the bottom. And we're going to tie this in tip first. Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap this forward. Be a little bit of a junction cover as well as a belly color on the back half. Okay, we'll go ahead and put that down. Okay, then we'll put a plume of black marabou on top, and I want it to go just a little bit into that front hook, meaning, you know, the head of the crayfish is this way. That's why I'm calling it the front hook. Obviously, this is the front hook in the articulation. Okay. We'll go ahead and just wrap that back. So we get kind of an olive on the bottom and a black here on the top. Make sure that that's all nice and tied down here. Okay, we'll go ahead and I'm going to take another piece of black schlappen. And another piece of olive brown reflector flash. We'll go ahead and wrap those just like we did in the first part. One wrap on the schlappen and then pair those up, kind of comb all of that back. Just go ahead and wrap those forward. I want to leave a little bit of extra space on this side of the hook because we'll put our head on here, our weight. Okay, so we got a nice body there. We'll take our final black plume of marabou here, and we'll put that right over the top. Just make sure that that's veiled over the top side of that. Go ahead and cut that off. I want to build a little bit of an underbody here for this Flyman Fishing Company head to mount to. We'll go ahead and whip finish that. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll throw a little bit of extra legs in here, so you can put some extra legs here that'll veil around. But what I'll do is I'll just do it without legs this time. So we'll just take some super glue here. Then we're going to get one of these large sculpin helmets. This is the black version. And we're just going to put that on there, push it back. What I like to do is make sure that I have a little bit of space there where that thread is poking out. Okay, get that nice and tight on there. And then I'm just going to take just a little bit of resin here. Instead of putting a thread bump at the front, I usually just put a little bit of resin here. I don't ever have any problem with these coming off. but I do want to seal up that front side just so it partially looks clean, but also just kind of locks it in there a little bit. I've got a little bit of thread hanging off the front anyways. So this is also just sealing all that up and binding it together. And there you go. Okay, so this is the black and olive version. Lots of movement. These things just kick like crazy. And then the other color that I tie it in is this rusty tan color. And it's yeah, it's a great little pattern, great lake pattern as well. Sinks real fast. You could turn this around and make it hook point up if you wanted to, or you can keep it like this and hook point down. Your choice. Obviously, you would just flip materials and keep the darker on the top and the lighter down at the bottom. But yeah, tie some up. Hope that helped you out, and hope you enjoy. See you next time.